discussed this now. What is the significance of plus and minus sign? Hamza. In the orbitals now, plus sign, minus sign. So what are orbitals? Orbitals are nothing but these are waves. Okay, and this is not the shape of waves. I mean, this is essentially, okay, let me tell you what happens exactly. So this is a higher standard chemistry. Okay, if you are not going to understand it, so just bear with me. Okay, just bear with me. Just bear with me. So you have what is known as wave function, right? You have what is known as wave function. You have written the Schrodinger wave equation, yes or no? Schrodinger wave equation. Do you remember that? In chapter 2, atomic structure.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Schrodinger wave equation. So you have that wave function. You solve that equation. Okay, you solve that equation, and after solving that equation, you will get a plot, and that plot is for S subshell. That plot is like that. If you see the plot of what psi square. Oh no, I just only need two axes here. So it is like this. It increases like this, and then it decreases. It means that the electron density is higher at some point, right? At some point, and then it decreases slowly. Now, this is for all the axes, okay, X, Y, and Z axis. And hence they said that, okay, fine. It will have what spherical kind of shape. That is why the electron density is increasing, increasing, increasing. And after a point, it is decreasing. Now, what does this mean regarding to the phases, regarding to phases? So when you solve the equation, when you solve the equation and you get the psi, now psi is what? Psi is a wave. Psi is a wave. And it will have a plus phase and negative phase. These are phases. Phases of a wave. You have not heard about phases of a wave?
Yes, sir.
Sound chapter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sound chapter में भी होगा ना class 10th में? That is the first introduction of wave, na?
Yes, sir.
And the phases are positive phase and negative phase. It is not charges. Okay, first thing is that it is not charges. Okay, so there are some miscellaneous topics in the atomic structure. No, not atomic structure. Chemical bonding. In chemical bonding, let us study those. First of them is dipole moment. Dipole moment. Dipole moment. So dipole moment, you will learn dipole moment, the definition, and many things in standard 12 in physics. Okay, it is a main portion of physics, but let us just see what is it. The product of dipole moment is the product of the magnitude of the charge and distance separation between charges. This dipole moment, it is shown by mu. It is shown by what? Mu. And mu, we will see that mu is equal to Q into D, where Q is the charge, it is the magnitude of charge, and D is the distance between the two charges. Okay, it is the distance between the two charges. So for example, if you have A charge here and there is some distance, you have B charge here, this is having plus Q, and this should be having minus Q charge. Okay, so you will take one of those charges and the distance D, you multiply that, and you will get what? And you will get the you'll get the dipole moment. So I can say that mu is directly proportional to charge, and mu is directly proportional to what? Distance also. Right? So these are the 2 points that is more important for us. It is directly proportional to charge and it is directly proportional to distance. Write this down. Let me know if you're done. Okay, Hamza is done. What about others? Hiba, Khalid, Salman.
Done, sir.
Done.
Done, sir.
Khalid, what about you? Done?
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Now we will will not determine exactly, determine the dipole moment, but rather we will say whether there is some dipole moment or there is no dipole moment. And if there is a dipole moment, what is the direction of that dipole moment? Okay. So if you see this now, so dipole moment is shown like this. Okay, please write this also. We'll make a plus sign like this and make this plus sign like this. Okay. The arrow will be there. And where will be the positive charge? You will have a kind of plus sign there. Okay. So please write this now. I forgot to write it. Draw an arrow. This is the direction of dipole moment. This is the direction of dipole moment. Okay. So this is known as the positive end. This will be having the negative end. Okay. This will be having the negative end. Okay. Done. You have drawn the arrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in diatomic molecules. Okay, in diatomic molecules. See, if you have what? If you have homodiatomic, in homo diatomic, mu is equal to 0. There is no dipole moment because hydrogen and hydrogen, right? So if there is no electron, if there is no difference in the electronegativity, this hydrogen and this hydrogen will be sharing electron equally, right? If it is present here, the other will be having electron here. The bond will be what? It will be non-polar bond, right? It will be non-polar bond. Similarly, if you have O2, oxygen and oxygen, this will be also what? Non-polar bond. If you have N2, N triple bond N, this will also be non-polar bond. Then what you can have you can have F2, fluorine and fluorine. This will also what? All these have same values of electronegativity. So neither this first hydrogen or second hydrogen, they are not competing with each other to pull the electron, But if you have in hetero diatomic, mu is not equal to 0. That means mu will have some value is not equal to 0. And the direction of mu is from less, what is this chi? Less electronegative to more electronegative. This from less electronegative to more electronegative. For example, the best example is HCl. Which is more electronegative here? Chlorine is more electronegative. Phone kal bihari kal. Phone kal bihari ishq pyar hai. So hydrogen comes at the end of the electronegativity series. Chlorine is after. Fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, then chlorine. And hence we have the direction of dipole is like this. Okay, this is the direction of dipole. This is the direction of dipole. More example you can see. If you have HF, the direction of dipole will be like this. Okay. If you have what? If you have heterodiatomic molecules, then mu naught is not equal to 0. There will be some dipole moment. Just add, okay, sorry for this. This is the same. Done.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Now write for polyatomics. In polyatomic molecules. Okay. In polyatomic molecules, what happens? Let us see. In polyatomic molecules, for example, let us start with, for example, it will also depend on the structure. Okay. It will also depend on the structure. If you have linear structure, for example, CO2. Okay. So carbon, then you have double bond oxygen here, double bond oxygen here, right? As you can see, what, how many sigma bonds? Sigma bond is equal to 2. Steric number is equal to how much? Steric number is also 2 because there is no lone pair. Steric number is 2. The hybridization is sp. If it is sp, then the structure is what? It is linear. So if it is linear, out of carbon and oxygen, which is more electronegative? Between carbon and oxygen, which is more electronegative? अच्छा, आप लोग को अभी तक याद नहीं हुआ, फोन कल बिहारी, ऑक्सीजन, FON, oxygen is more electronegative. Okay, so you have a electronegative, I mean the dipole moment like this, and you have another dipole moment like this. As you can see, they are in opposite direction, right? The dipole moments are in opposite direction and they have a direction. That means they are a vector quantity. And if I add these two, they will cancel each other, and hence, therefore, mu net is equal to 0. Mu net is equal to 0. Yes or no? And hence, what I can say, therefore, CO2 is non-polar. CO2 is non-polar. Done?
Yes, sir.
Done. So similarly, if I ask for BeF2, BF2, it is also what? Linear, na? You have fluorine, then in between you have beryllium, then you have fluorine. Which is more electronegative? Fluorine is more electronegative, right? So you will have a dipole moment like this from beryllium to fluorine. As you can see that now again, both of these will cancel each other. That is why mu net is what? It is equal to 0. The total dipole moment is equal to 0. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you have seen at linear molecules. Now, if you have bent molecules, in bent molecule, how will you have? For example, if you have H2O, so you will have oxygen, hydrogen, and hydrogen like this. Okay. So which is more electronegative, oxygen or hydrogen?
Oxygen.
Oxygen is more electronegative, right? So you will, yeah, oxygen is more electronegative. So you will have arrow like this. Right? And you will have another arrow like this. Right? Don't forget to add the positive kind of sign here. Okay. Now, since they are vector, what will happen? We can add these two vectors, right? Yes or no? We can add these two vectors, na? No. आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा ना?
Yes,
We
sir.
can add these two vectors. So if I will add these two vectors, then the net vector that I can say, it will be somewhere here, like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, जिन लोगों का physics थोड़ा खराब है वो लोग इधर देखिए. This is the vector here, and then this vector I can add it like this here. Okay. Now I will take both the components. They will have a component which is perpendicular like this. Okay. Then they will have a component which is like this. Okay. So these two vectors are the original vectors. And इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Resolution बोलते हैं ना vectors का? The sign cos that we take. Resolution of vectors, na?
Resultant.
Resultant. Resultant is the middle one, na?
Yes, sir.
Now, what if you have, for example, like this? I forgot the physics term. And you have a vector like this. This is the resultant vector, right? And what are these vectors? These are ना, we take sine and cos.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
और this theta, क्या बोलते हैं इनको, क्या बोलते हैं, नहीं पता. Wait a second. तो मेरा दिमाग ऐसे ही होने लगता है. Resultant vector and resolution of vector. Resolution बोलते हैं शायद. Yeah, resolution of vectors. Yeah, exactly. Vector addition, unit vector, vector resolution. Yeah, it is vector resolution. Vector resolution. Parallelogram method, na? Vector resolution. This is vector resolution. So we have to resolve the vector. So when we resolve this, the original vector, we will get a sine component and the cos component. And as you can see that, if I see these two components, this and this, they will cancel each other out. Yes or no? They will cancel each other out, na?
Yes, sir.
And then the resultant only we will get what? A vector which is moving upwards like this. This is the resultant vector, okay? And there will be, so I can say for H2O, mu net is not equal to 0. And this is the direction, okay? The direction is upwards like this. The direction of the vector is like this. Done?
Yes, sir. Done.
No. Next is for bent only H2O, na? Then we can also have SO2. So you have sulfur, double bond oxygen, and there are two lone pairs here. Okay, there are two lone pairs here. Obviously, the vector will be like this, the dipole vector, because sulfur is less electronegative. And then when I will resolve it, I am writing the resolutions like this. For this is the base component. This is the perpendicular component. This is the base component. This is the perpendicular component. And what will happen? These two will cancel each other out. So the resultant will be what? The resultant will be something like this. Okay, so again, I can say mu net is not equal to 0. There will be some mu net for SO2 also. But the direction, can you see? What is the direction? Direction is downwards. Done? Done, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, now let us take BF3 for example. Trigonal plane, right? For example, BF3. Okay, for example, BF3. So you have boron, fluorine, and fluorine. Okay, fluorine, and fluorine. So you have the vectors like this. Right? Now I'm going to resolve each and every one of them. Okay, so let me first resolve this one. This fluorine 1. You will get some component in the direction. You will get some component here. Or here also you will get some components here and some components here, right? And I don't know, I have to resolve this. I don't have to resolve this. Now, as you can see that, it is what? It is a symmetrical structure, right? So this vector and this vector will cancel each other out. Similarly, what will happen? This one vector, this complete one vector, and these two vectors, they will form one vector, they will cancel each other out, okay? And hence what will happen? Mu net will be equal to 0. So I can say in symmetrical structure, the mu net is equal to 0 even if the bonds are polar. Correct? Because BF is a polar bond. It is not a non-polar bond because boron, fluorine, these are different elements, and it has the bond, they have some dipole moment. The bond, they have some dipole moment, but the molecule altogether, it is non-polar. It does not have any dipole moment. Okay. Please write this down. Let me know if you're done.
Done, sir.
Okay. Let us look at NH3. With NH3, we will see, I mean, together NH3 and NF3. Now, next example, if you have CH4. If you have CH4, okay. Now this becomes difficult because it is now what it is. It is now 3D. Okay, this is now 3D. This is now 3D. So what I will do is this is hydrogen and this is hydrogen. This is hydrogen. So tell me, is this symmetrical or not symmetrical? What do you think? It is symmetrical or not symmetrical?
Sir, non-symmetrical.
It is not symmetrical. Why?
Sir, because of the two hydrogen atoms at on the sides.
Tetrahedral geometry. How can I show you whether it is symmetrical or not symmetrical? It's difficult. Okay, wait a second. I have a software where I can draw some molecules, and you know what? I can even, yep. What is happening here? Wait a second. Let me just- Can you guys see this?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? Wait a second. Yeah, what is happening? Acha, it is getting disappearing now. Hydrogens. And I'm moving it. Setting display, setting hydrogen. Just leave that. Just draw something now once more. Delete this. Let me draw once again the carbons. Don't adjust the hydrogen. I want to adjust the hydrogen. Okay. Now, what do you think? Is it symmetrical or not symmetrical? Tell me. ऐसे देखो आप. Can you see that if you cut it in half, you cannot distinguish?
Yes, sir. Symmetrical.
Symmetrical, na? What about others? Hiba, Khalid, Salman?
Yes, sir.
Symmetrical, right? And I think I can get the dipole moment also. Wait a second. In the display setting, dipole. So see,
Sir, what is the app called, by the way?
This is a software Avogadro.
Okay.
This is a software which is known as Avogadro. Okay. Now this blue color. It behaves very weirdly sometimes. Okay, so just have some precaution. It's not a very stable software. Create surface locus view. Can you see the dipole moment here? What is the dipole moment here? See, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
How much dipole moment?
So 0.00.
Zero only, na? Okay. Now, what I will do, I will add a chlorine atom here. Okay, I will add a chlorine atom here. Instead of hydrogen, I've added one chlorine. Can you see the dipole now? Arrow दिख रहा है आप लोगों को?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
there is one thing which is known as optimization. Okay, so carbon, see the bond length, as you can see now, it is same as it was carbon and hydrogen, but obviously carbon and chlorine bond will be somewhat greater. So let me see. Now we optimize it. Now it has been optimized. So this is the what? This is the dipole moment. Okay, the dipole moment is starting from carbon and it is going towards chlorine. Now what will happen if I add one more chlorine here? What will happen if I add one more chlorine here? Okay, let me add one chlorine here. Now, can you see the change in dipole moment? Let me again optimize it. Can you see how the dipole moment changed?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now you will see a very amazing thing. Let me add one more chlorine here. Let me add one more chlorine here. Now let me then optimize, okay? Because you have to get the bond length right. Now, so as you can see, the dipole moment has changed. It is correct only, right? Because all the chlorines are upwards. The dipole moment is also upward. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now amazing thing will happen. If I will add one more chlorine atom, if I will add, what do you think what will happen? If I add one more chlorine atom, where will the dipole go? Up, down, left, right?
Sir, I think it will not move from here.
It will not move anywhere. Okay. So let me just optimize it. Now, can you see that the dipole moment is non-existent now? Why? Why do you think? Because it is now symmetrical, na? See, again, it has become symmetrical.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right? All these chlorines, all are chlorine. Now, if I change one of the atoms, if I change one of the atoms to back to hydrogen, if I change one of the atoms to hydrogen, let us take hydrogen like this. Okay. Now, and let us optimize it. Okay, now you can see some dipole moment, right? Now you can see some dipole moment. Okay, now you can see some dipole moment. It is hidden somewhere, but it will be again what? Downwards. It will be downwards. Okay. I mean, this is the only thing that I wanted to show regarding the symmetry. Okay. So CH4 is what? CH4 is symmetrical, and hence what will happen? Mu will be equal to 0. But if I go to C, carbon, and I have chlorines, then here also mu will be equal to 0 because it is also symmetrical. But if I have carbon, one hydrogen, and if I have all others are chlorine, then what will happen? Mu will not be equal to 0. It will be greater than 0. Okay. Done, guys. Write this first.
Let us fix it.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay. Now, you can have dipole moment in some organic compounds also. For example, this is benzene. And then you have chlorine here. Chlorine here. You can have benzene like this. Chlorine here and chlorine here. You have benzene here. The chlorine will be here and chlorine here. Okay. Now this is known as orthodiphenylate. We will learn it. We will learn about it later. But you can see that you will have a dipole moment like this here, right? And if I see these two, then also I will have a dipole moment in between somewhere like this. Okay. And for here, as you can see, this is what? This is symmetrical. So here mu will be greater than 0. Mu will be greater than 0, but here mu will be equal to 0. Please write this example also. Then we will learn the last topic, which is Fajans rule. Oh, Fajans rule. After that, we have learned resonance. No, yeah, we have learned resonance. Hydrogen bonding is left. Hydrogen bonding is left. Hiba is done. What about others? Hamza, Salman, Khalid.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Please write the next topic. Partial covalent character. In ionic bonds. Partial covalent character in ionic bonds. Okay. So first of all, what do we have to do? We have to discuss what is covalent and what is ionic. Okay, what is covalent and what is ionic? So first of all, let us discuss what is ionic. So we all know what is ionic bond. Okay, what is ionic bond? But in the sense of how partial covalent character develops, then we have to first understand what is ionic bond. So ionic bond will be formed when you have well-defined cation and anion. Okay, you have well-defined solid. I mean, the cation and anion. So there is cation like this, and there is anion like this. Okay, and they have Coulombic force of attraction between them. They have Coulombic force of attraction between them, and that makes the ionic bond. Is this clear with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Now, then what about covalent bond? What is covalent bond? Overlapping of atomic orbitals, right? Now, atomic orbitals, they are present in where? They are present in atoms. So I can see it is overlapping of atoms. Okay, just for this topic, we can generalize that overlapping of atomic orbitals, right? Covalent bond is formed by overlapping of atomic orbitals, and atomic orbitals are present in atoms. That means atoms must be overlapping. That means atoms must be overlapping. But what about cation and anion? See, cation and anion, they can get very close. They can get very close. They can even touch themselves. This is, they can also touch themselves. But overlapping, no. No. Now, as the overlapping will start taking place, then there will be some covalent character. There will be some covalent character. Okay, what is covalent bond? Covalent bond is like this. Covalent bond is like this. Even though if someone is hydrogen and the other is fluorine, even though one is hydrogen and the other is fluorine, this is hydrogen and this is fluorine, there will be some overlapping. There will be some overlapping. And if there is overlapping, that means you have covalent nature. That means there is some covalent character in the bond, there is some covalent character in the bond. There is some covalent character in the bond. The main point is that you have to keep in mind is that if a bond has some overlapping, it means there is some covalent character. Covalent character present. Done?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Now, how the overlapping can take place in an ionic bond? How the overlapping can take place in an ionic bond? See, you have a positive charge here, okay? You have a positive charge. Now, please remember that. Okay, please remember that. Positive charge means absence of electron, yes or no? Positive charge in the sense of chemical bonding, positive charge means I say Na positive, we say Na positive, right?
Yes, sir.
Na positive. It does not mean that in sodium we had added one proton, right? Addition of proton is not taken place. This is wrong. What has happened actually? We have removed one electron. Yes or no, guys?
Yes,
The
sir.
sodium can get positive with two cases. Either you add a proton or you remove an electron. But this sodium positive is existing. Why? Because we have removed an electron. It is formed by the removal of electron. That means whenever I say a positive charge, it means what? It means absence of electron. It means absence of electron. So there is no real positive charge. Okay, there is no real positive charge. But there is a real absence of electron, and that translates into the positive charge. The positive charge. Okay, so this is not existent. Please remember that this is not existent. This is just a charge which is inside the nucleus, which is attracting. Okay, which is attracting, and it cannot. I mean, the shape of this positive charge it cannot change. But what about negative charge here? What about the anion? An anion is always bigger, right? You have learned in the previous chapter that cations, the size of cation is smaller and the size of anion is larger. Now, this is an anion with negative charge. This is an anion with negative charge. That means it has extra electrons. It has extra electrons, and this electron is what? This electron is electron cloud. This electron is what? It is electron cloud. Now, this positive charge will attract the electron. The positive charge will attract the electron, and what will happen? What will happen? It can sometimes do what? This is the positive charge, and it can sometimes polarize the. It can sometimes polarize the. It can sometimes. This is positive. This is polarized. Electron cloud, right? See, this was perfectly symmetrical. Now, as you can see that it is more towards what? It is more towards the positive charge, right? It has been polarized towards the positive charge. So this is, I mean, this is unpolarized electron cloud, which is unpolarized. And this is what? Polarized electron cloud. So whenever there will be some, okay, first draw these two. First draw these two, then we will write a few points, right? 3 points. Write this down. Let me know if you're done. These 2 points, unpolarized and polarized electron cloud. Okay. Now, please write 3 statements. No polarization means bond is predominantly ionic. Now, if there is small polarization, that means there is some covalent character. There is some covalent character. Now, if there is large polarization, it means if there is large polarization, that means covalent character, bond is predominantly covalent. Now there is 2 things, cation and anion. Okay, there is 2 things, cation and anion. Now we will write the factors that affect the polarization. The tendency of cation. See, cation is polarizing. Okay, cation is polarizing, and okay, we'll write also one more point. Cation is polarizing. Anion is getting polarized. Anion is getting polarized.
Done, sir.
Okay. Now I'm giving you 2 cases, A and B. A and B. This is a positive charge, and this has a positive charge, let us say 11, and this is a positive charge. It has a positive charge, let us say 19. Okay, it has a positive charge, let us say 19. Now they have same type of anions. Same type of anions. Okay, now tell me, which of the proton has greater tendency to polarize the anion, A or B? Which has the greater tendency to polarize? What do you think? Which can attract and polarize the electrons more?
Sir, B.
B, na? Right, very good. B, because it has large charge. Okay, it has large charge. Okay, so first thing is that we can see if large charge on the cation, they will polarize easily. Okay, now second is, if you have a positive charge, if you have some positive charge here, and there is a very big, anion here, and if you have a positive charge here, and there is some small anion here. Now tell me, which has the greater tendency to polarize?
Sir,
or B?
larger one. A.
Larger one. Okay, larger one. Okay, fine, larger one. Now, if you have a very big cation, okay, and there is some anion, okay, the anion is same. वेरी बिग में बहुत बिग हो गया है ना, इसको थोड़ा छोटा कर लेते हैं। इतना ऊपर कहाँ चला गया भाई तुम? This is one, and let's suppose that this is the same anion here. But you have large size of cation. Now what do you think? Which can polarize more easily?
Sir, B.
B.
B. I'm saying the charge is same. The charge is same. Now tell me.
Both.
Sorry.
Sir, it will be A.
It will be A, right? Because the density is high here, right? The positive density is high, and if the density is high, that means, see, whatever, when the polarization is taking place now, so polarization will take place like this towards a point. If this positive charge is very small, then it is better for the anion to get polarized towards a point, right? अब लेकिन इस तरह देखिएगा तो ये कहाँ polarize होगा? I mean, there is not a single point which is there, right? Now this can polarize in this direction. Now this anion will say that I'm already polarized. I already feel all the points like this. But to feel more positive charge, what will this particular scenario look like? This particular scenario will look like something like this. Okay, now I can feel more interaction. The negative charge will say, now I can feel more interaction. And hence, this small can polarize easily. This small cation can polarize easily. Okay, now all these rules that you have said now, these are known as Fajan's rule. These are known as Fajan's rule. Fajan's rules. Okay, the first rule is smaller the size of cation greater its polarizing power. Okay, second rule states that polarizability, the ability to get polarized, is anion's ability. Okay, polarizability of anion increases with increase in size. The increase in size of anion. Third point is regarding the charge. Larger the charge of anion or cation, anyone, okay, greater is the polarization. Greater is the polarization. Done, everyone? Hamza and Hibar done. What about others? Khalid and Salman, are you done?
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, write hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding. Okay. Let us look at the example of hydrogen fluoride, HF. You will have another HF molecule here, another HF molecule here, another HF molecule here. Okay. So which is more electronegative, hydrogen or fluorine?
So fluorine.
Fluorine is more electronegative. So delta negative, there will be some negative charge here, there will be some positive charge here. Some positive here, some negative here. Some positive here, some negative here, some positive here, and some negative here. Okay. Now this positive and negative, these are what? Charges. Now if they are charges, what will happen? They will also have some attractive force. Yes or no? They will also have some attractive force,
Yes, sir.
right? And this force is known as what? This force is known as the hydrogen bonding. This is known as what? This is hydrogen bonding. These forces are known as hydrogen bonding. Okay. So now when we will define the hydrogen bonding, how will we define the hydrogen bonding? See, we have the electronegative atom of one molecule and the electropositive, the more electronegative atom of a molecule and less electronegative atom of a molecule, and the interaction between them results in hydrogen bonding. Okay, results in hydrogen bonding. Now this is only because hydrogen is what? Hydrogen is very electropositive. I mean, it is very less electronegative. So the attractive force, please write with me, the attractive force which binds hydrogen atom of one molecule with electronegative. Now this electronegative atom, it can be only fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen. Hydrogen bonding will only take place if hydrogen is bonded with fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen. Okay, nothing other of another molecule. The attractive force which binds hydrogen on an atom of one molecule with electronegative of another molecule is known as same. Sorry. Known as hydrogen bonding. Done.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Now, hydrogen bonding, it affects many things. Okay, it affects many things, and one of the most the application of hydrogen bonding, right? The application of hydrogen bonding. Main application is in melting points and boiling point. Application of. अच्छा, before चलो, application of hydrogen bonding. Okay, application of hydrogen bonding. First thing is that in melting points and boiling points. In melting points and boiling points. Okay. So what is the effect? See, the molecules, the compounds with hydrogen bonding have higher melting points and boiling points. Right, higher melting points and boiling points. Second point, right? Solubility. In water. Okay, solubility in water. Molecules with, compounds. Compounds with hydrogen bonding are soluble in water. Compounds with hydrogen bonding are soluble in water. See, the solubility का जो खेल है ना, solubility means that they should have like type of interaction. The interaction between the molecules should be like type of interaction. For example, oxygen and hydrogen. That means H2O, right? And then you have another hydrogen, oxygen and hydrogen, right? Then you have some other oxygen here, which is having what? Hydrogen here and some hydrogen here. So there is some hydrogen bonding which is present in what? Which is present in the water molecule. Which is present in the water molecule. So water wants the incoming solute to have what? Hydrogen bonding. And if it will have hydrogen bonding, or I mean, if it has hydrogen bonding or it has ionic character and all, then only what will happen? Then only it can dissolve. Then only water will dissolve that particular solute. So compounds with hydrogen bonding are soluble in water, and if the compound does not have hydrogen bonding, then it won't be dissolved. So write this point. Compounds with hydrogen bonding are more soluble in water. Third is physical state. So how the hydrogen bonding influences physical state? See, for example, H2O, right? And you have H2S. These are of oxygen and sulfur. These are of what? These are of the same group, but H2O is liquid and H2S is gas. Why this is that? Because H2O, it is having an intermolecular force of attraction, which is what? Which is hydrogen bonding, which is a very high force of attraction. It is the magnitude of force of attraction is very high. That is why the molecules of H2O, they are binded together and they form liquid. And H2S do not have the hydrogen bonding. That's why it is a gas. Then about physical state.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Types of hydrogen bonding. Okay, so there are two types of hydrogen bonding. One is known as intermolecular. Intermolecular hydrogen bonds. Now, if you have intermolecular hydrogen bonds, then what will happen? The intermolecular hydrogen bonds, they are formed between two different molecules of same or different substance. Okay, please read. They are formed intermolecular. Like you have inter-school competition now. So inter-school competition hoga, then different schools will be participate. Similarly, intermolecular hydrogen bonding. In intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the hydrogen bond will be formed between two different molecules. Okay, different molecules. For example, HF and HF. Okay, so this is one molecule of HF, this is another molecule of HF, and you will have a hydrogen bonding like this. So this is what intermolecular hydrogen bond. This is intermolecular hydrogen bond. Now, next is what is known as intramolecular. Now, in intramolecular hydrogen bond, what will happen? The hydrogen bond will be formed between the hydrogen atom. I mean, the hydrogen bond will be formed within the element, within a same element, within one element. Hydrogen bond is formed within a single element, single molecule. Sorry, not element, molecule. For example, you have a benzene ring like this, then you have NO2 group. And here you have OH group. So this bond here, so both the electronegative atom and the hydrogen, they are present in the same molecule, right? We don't need any other molecule. And this is known as what? This is known as intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. Now, that is why you will write. Next, you will write intramolecular hydrogen bonding has clearly no influence on melting point, boiling point, solubility, etc. Okay. So intramolecular में क्या हो जा रहा है? Intramolecular we are having hydrogen bonding within the same molecule. So it is not interacting between two molecules. Now, if like HF, they were interacting between two molecules. Now, if the force of attraction between two molecules is higher, the force or energy required to make separate them will be higher, and that is why the melting points and boiling points become higher. But that is not happening here. Okay, that is not happening here, and hence we say that intramolecular hydrogen bonding, the influence, it has no influence there. It has no influence there. Please let me know if you're done writing this.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, fine. Chalo, I will just stop sharing this. Okay, I will just stop sharing this. And we have a class on Thursday.